Spartans! What is your profession? This is Sparta!
What is going on, everybody? All right. Didn't mean to start like that. What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great night. So do me a favor. You can hear me? We'll back off. Put a 1 in the chat. Woo, that's a little rough start. Okay, guys. So do me a favor as you coming in, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. It means so much to us. And our Cash App is in the bottom. Is it's time of giving, the times of loving, it's type of donations. So make sure you give the Ghost of Sparta little gifts. No pressure, but this stuff is a little expensive. So before we get into my open dialogue, I want to bring somebody up. He is a special person. I always make fun of him. I always pick on him, but he's a good person. And I'm gonna have a little conversation before we get into this home. And I want him to listen to me nice and clear. So I don't have an intro for him, but I'm gonna pick something for him. A very good sound. Let's see. Let's do this one. He is a fighter. He is Black David. Black David, what is going on, my man? How are you, first of all?
Can you guys hear me? How you doing?
Yeah, I hear nice and clear. How's your week going?
Let's say it's been an interesting week. The weather's
Good or
messed
bad?
me up. I haven't gotten sick in a long time like this. Little sinus, hate it, but I can get through it.
Bro, this is the first time I've been sick in about 3 to 4 years, and it's kicking my ass. I was sick over the summer a little bit with a little cough, but nothing like this, like a fever, nose. I got everything. Or that I didn't have diarrhea. Shit.
It's
So,
just that I caught this because we are working on it. It's very, very dusty. They're going through a transition.
mhm.
So they're moving almost every equipment they have from one building to the other side of Manhattan to another location. So when no one is already there, no one have been cleaned up the place, and there's so much dust built up in my nose, picking up, and it started to affect me a whole lot. I didn't know it was going to get me sick. It started yesterday, so I hope today is the last day of that. But other than that, I've been
so
good.
David, I have something to tell you. All right. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I always pick on you because you're like a brother to me, and we talked about this in private.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing to you. I want you to hear me loud and clear. crank up the volume all the way in your ear. Heads up, all right? If you can hear me,
Okay.
I am very proud of you. How everything has turned out for you. It was a rough journey. Let's be honest, but you know why you came out the way you did. End of the day, do you?
Discipline. I don't know. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Have a bad habit of not giving up, even though it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But they duke it out regardless what it is.
Biggest one I was looking for is your inner circle. You're in my circle. I told you this in private,
You're
what,
right.
2 days ago? I always will
You
have
did.
your back no matter what, right?
You did.
Did I keep my
Because
word?
you know the kind of person I am. Because sometimes when you see a person who have been consistent, he have not been flip flopping, going to the left or the right, but he have been consistent what he stand on. You watch who he's around or he's around. You start to wonder that guy don't belong in that group. But you can see certain people they're like a flip flop. I'm aware of that.
Hmm.
It's just that I learned from my uncle. Don't let nobody change you no matter what happened, which is hard. There time I wanted to change, I'm like F it. But I realized that's not who I am. So all I can do is do what I know best to keep it pushing.
Correct.
Yet it
But
sucks. But
here's one thing I realized today. As we're texting today, I realized one thing. You're not just a African guy. You're not just a black guy. You're not just my black brother. You know who you are, really?
what?
You're actually a black Spartan. I realized that today because have you ever seen the scripture of a Spartan? No. All right, let me see if I can pull it up really fast because it is a scripture. I can't. I don't know if I can find it. Let me see if I can pull it up and tell me if this sounds any familiar to you. You know what? As I'm looking for this, you want to do the opening your open thoughts?
Oh, unpacking attracted. Why women choose. Whew. I'll be honest with you guys. This is a topic I would say is not so simple, cut and dry. It never has been. If you were to take your time, do a dedicated search on this matter, look back the last, I don't know, 15 to 20 generations to do research on why women choose, you start to realize it's hard to pinpoint the reason why behind it. It's all based on the era, the mindset, the agenda, the ideology that was set for that particular time and era. It can only give you I would say, a little sense of clarity, but it's far, far deeper than that. It seems to me when we come to a line on that understanding what a woman want, it can end up failing you if you're not aware of that person's foundation and the root. I firmly believe if you want to understand a woman, you got to figure out what kind of woman are you looking for, what kind of woman are you pursuing. You might want to be careful and just focus on one ideology, an ideology that is based on facts and principle. You might have to look at what is logical to you, what is rational to you. Because we in an era that people are confused. People are like, I'm done with this. This is like up in smoke. It is not so easy to cut through this situation or the conversations. But I tell you this, y'all, all women are not the same as men. But I promise you this though, if you're not careful, you might end up picking the wrong one that would drive you crazy. That is my view for now. Anyone else?
All right, David. Before we keep moving on, I want to show you some couple things here. First thing I want to show you. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you at all, any shape, way, or form. Where is it? Here we go. And I want you to read it out loud too, if you could, please.
Sparta is mentioned in the Bible as first Maccabees and second Maccabees. First Maccabees 12:20-23. King Aaron of Sparta writes to Onias, the high priest of Jews, to share information about their common ancestry and propose a friendly alliance. First Maccabees 14:16-23. Jonathan Maccabee appeared to the Spartans to renew their friendship with the Jews. Second Maccabees 5:9. The high priest Jason found Absalom in Sparta in 168 BC. The Bible also mentions Sparta under the name Lacedaemonium. The Sparta and the Jews developed a warm relationship and the two nations exchanged correspondence. However, some say the claim of the common ancestry between the two groups was likely a result of a ethnological error.
So I got this for you next. So this is it's concentrate. Wait, I'm not gonna go over this all tonight because this is way too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you this to read on private
Uh-huh.
on Facebook, and we're gonna talk about this in a week or two. And a reason that's your homework is because that is you 101.
What if
So
I tell
let's get
you
back.
that Africa is like a warrior class continent?
I know that.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that concept because, for one, if you talk about Africa as the originator and the Jew, you talk about endless battle, endless fight for territories. Because if people were really doing their homework, they'll find out Africa was another name. But what they call it now? There were five kingdoms, and the way they fought, it was brutal.
And same thing in Greece. They had several kingdoms too. Greece wasn't broken down in several things. We had several kings there: Troy, Sparta, and so on. But we're not doing a history lesson. Let's get into the show now. All right, picking a woman. Hey, Mariana, what is going on, hon? Hope all is well. Um, when we're picking a partner, spouse, wife, mother. Yeah, I know I'm going there. David, I know this is a sore subject for you and a sore subject for me too. You gotta be careful because she might be short, big ass, big boobs, crazy woman who, might chase you around with a fucking goddamn machete. Or she might be a sweetheart. Or she could be both. She could be like a sweetheart in bed and she wants to kill you half the fucking times. So watch out for the short, 5'2". They're dangerous. The short ones are more dangerous. That's nothing going on early. But seriously, let's joking aside, guys. You picking the right one is hard because they're saying also now a lot of people don't believe in marriage that is a thing anymore. We know somebody personally from another channel. He doesn't think marriage is a fucking thing. He think it's bullshit. I'm talking about Trey. You know who I'm talking about, David.
No, Trey, I will not blame because something I learned in my life throughout the year. You got to understand a personal experience and why he feel the way he feel.
I'm not
What did
arguing where
he
he listen.
what did he face? What did he experience? What did he see that made him start to feel like, you know what, this is not for me?
Yeah.
Because there's some guys out there who I would say they were real good men, but something that happened in life just put them in a crossroad and they chose to say, you know what, I cannot be the same like I used to know. I'm not doing this no more. It's not happening because I'm not gonna repeat it. Remember what Trey said when he came on the platform? He said all of his peers are married. I want you to let that sink in. Trey had a good, strong group of men that he have worked with, either looked up to, or collaborate with people that you can say will call him out on his bullshit if he's wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for a weird reason, every one of them were married except him. I don't think it's his fault in any kind of thing. It could be based on how he was making a choice. Let's be honest with you. When we make our choice, we gotta ask ourselves this question: what variable are we using?
Okay.
What principle are we using? What type of measurement are you using? I say those things because if you, like I was saying in my early opening monologue, it is not that simple. It could be something subconsciously that, due to your upbringing, that you systematically use the wrong system to do your picking. There's some people who need to go either go to therapy to unload, to unlock the years of depression that they would brush aside, or how you want to say, people on the rug, right? Things that will mess up their sound judgment because you to hear that people pick what reflect them from their past. How would I say it? You got some people who pick someone who act just like their mom without even realize they're doing that, and vice versa. That's why I totally agree with mental health. Go to a psychiatrist, you need to talk that thing. I need to figure out what to think you take, what making you snap. And when you're picking it, how are you picking it? What method are you picking? Do you take your time or do you rush it? Because a few weeks ago, I did a little research. I did not even realize there was a show that been going on for 18 seasons called Married at First Sight.
Hmm.
18 seasons.
I never heard of that
And,
one.
and see, now technically speaking, when you say season to me, I'm thinking 18 years. But as of lately, season is only based on what they consider to be a season to the based on how many episodes they ran.
Okay.
But if you look at the discrepancy of that show, there are people who are on online dating. They find their counterpart outside the country, but they want to bring them over here so they can get married quickly. So what do they do? They go to a show that sees it as a way to make money, but also produce something unusual. Have their lawyer look into it and say, you know what, we can use this in a way where we not only make the show a hit, but you can get multiple seasons, which they did. That show required them to file the K-1 visa, which allowed them to bring the spouse over here.
Like
And
90 Day Fiance.
bingo. I'm glad you mentioned that one. 90 Day Fiance. The question is, why is it 90 Day Fiance? There's the reason why. That K-1 visa requirement, if you file for someone from outside the country, you only got 90 days on United States soil. If they don't get married within 90 days, they have to go back. 90 Day Fiance is a spin-off of Marriage at First Sight,
I didn't know that.
where they're using the same type of visa process. And the
K9,
funny thing
right?
about, and the funny thing about it, the fact that the process is faster for the show. The reason why the show is making, dude, the show is vouching, saying we gonna fly our team out there to find if that person is legit or not. We will have
Really?
our camera. So while they had that camera over here in the U.S., they have that camera over where the person is gonna be at, so they can record and then say, yeah, this person will come over here. So it kind of like This is a cheat code for everyone who's looking for a wife outside. If you don't want to wait for, I don't know, 15 months, go to a show that willing to feed up the person, but the only thing you're taking is you putting your life on the camera.
And we're kind of ready to have our lives on camera here.
No, we have, but that is a little extra
Yeah, you have a good point there.
because uh, this is like a how you want to play it. This was the perfect phrase for making the deal with the devil. This network that run these two shows made a huge killing because not only they use a particular visa process whereby it take a little longer for the part to be approved, but it gets speed up because the company is doing the extra mile to not only validate both ends, to show proof at both ends. Because if you're not going to the show, let me ask you a question. How long you think it takes them to approve your visa compared to
Oh
that
man,
TV
it has to
show?
be months, at least months.
Months, yeah. But for the show, it's not even months. They gonna be the contestant. We'll have our crew. We gonna month. Oh, okay, no problem. That visa process speed up because it's a show. So if they try to scam the system, it's on camera. And you don't want to get fucked up that you trying to scam the show and it's on camera. They got more than enough evidence on your ass anyway. So why do it on TV?
Yeah, good point.
Like, yo, they could put you on a do not fly list or do not enter list. Now why do that? So when I see that show, I remember I saw it back then, but I was not taking it serious. I didn't know it went 18 seasons. I'm like,
That's a long
damn.
time, dude.
And their 90 Day Fiance, that exactly what they're doing. They're allowing these people to use that visa to bring these people here for 90. At first, I saw it a few times. I did not take no. I not like, oh, so that's what they're doing. And some people thought the visa part would be quick, not realizing that the reason why it was quick for these people. They're doing it for a show.
Hmm.
The show got to make money. The
Of
show
course.
putting their own crew on the line. I mean, they have to fly down to whatever. Your spouse is in Spain, they're going to Spain. Your spouse is in Belgium, they're going to Belgium. Your spouse is in Africa, they're going to Africa. Your spouse is in Taiwan, they go to Taiwan. You know how much money it costs to fly a film crew across the world so they can set up their equipment, the call that part of the show, and fly back? They got to make that money though. So you can imagine. But the thing is, you look at that, these people had only 90 days to choose, but I can't say what 90 days. It depends on how long they would take to do that person online. But to have that existence, but on the existence is, it's too much of a because you better put the whole private life on display. Will give people a
Here's
lot
my
of money.
thing. Hang on. I
Go
want
ahead.
to pause you for a second. All right.
Hmm.
Is I think one of the issues we have it is people rush way too fast to get into a relationship, move in because they want to get the dick wet and she wants to open her fucking legs. Let's be straight up here. That's one of the major reasons a lot of people get together. That's what our human nature is, to be sexual. Let's be straight. But the problem I have with that, I have the same problem. Like every other man out there and every other woman probably, we rush into our relationships. And I don't believe in it like take our time bullshit. My time is whatever speed we are comfortable in. But eventually we run out of patience. Like, let's move this a little faster I wanted to. I try to put the brake on and remember, like, that's not a good idea. Slow down. So what do you say about that, David?
Um, This has been a culture since the 70s, whereby no one wants to wait. They gotta have it.
Mm.
You wonder why of every nation in the world we had the highest number of single moms. We are number one on that one.
But don't forget,
I,
we also are outnumbered right now.
ironically, we are the greatest in single momhood. We're the greatest in single fatherhood. We are the greatest in fair parenting on both ends. We're the greatest of shacking up. Um, it's something that has been ingrained into the system. 'Cause I'm sure you heard a story about, oh, back in the day, they took their time to get to know each other, you know what I mean, yada, yada, yada. But somewhere down the
You know what?
line,
This is why I
that,
wanted our
that,
opinion on
that
here so
part,
bad today.
no, think about it, that part used to be the standard until somebody say, F it. We ain't taking that time. We skipping the part, we're going straight. Well, bam, thank you, man. And that went from that to what we have right now.
Hmm. And I agree 100%. I'm not, excuse me, I'm not arguing what you're saying, dude. I agree 100% what you're saying. What I'm saying is these times now we're in have changed so much that nobody, even now, dude, like Amazon, great example. Before you had to order something, you had to wait a couple weeks, couple days,
That is
maybe a
true.
month.
Very,
I'm
very
sorry.
true. That is very, very true.
Now,
Amazon, you order, it take you, no, right now, today's Amazon take you between 3 to 5 days, depending on the location and the transportation process route. If you have Amazon Prime, if you don't have Amazon Prime, it may take a longer route.
yeah, a lot bigger route.
And I've been aware of that. I was like, but why do they do that for? Because you know why they know the cost of trying to speed up the process, and it costs them when we compare it on what they're using.
Absolutely.
I used to
And
work for
now we're
UPS.
at a point
I used to work
that
for UPS. So I
everything,
know what it's like to load long ass trailers, stack up deep to deliver the stuff need to be here.
like I
That's
said,
not an
now we're
easy
at a
job.
point
Damn,
that we order something, we have it literally the next day.
that is so freaking true.
So what is that next? I'm gonna order a woman online next.
Mail order bride happened here since the 80s, but the first country that was doing that was Russia.
Yeah, Russians don't even want their own women sometimes. That's the problem. They're fucking crazy.
But here's
Sorry
the
to any
joke,
Russian
though.
women out there, by the way.
Here's the joke. You're not gonna believe this. When the mail order bride was not kicking in well in the U.S., guess where they went to next? Guess they came to Africa in the 90s. When I was in my country going to high school, I was in boarding school. My best friend was half Russian, half Nigerian. There was a good number of Russian who was living in Nigeria, running successful businesses, living the life they wanted to live outside of Russia.
So correct me if I'm wrong, David. Again, I'm not very educated on African history. Please
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
But didn't Russia try to conquer Africa at one point?
I try and find that information. I can't really verify that yet. But for some apparent reason, Africa is willing to do business with Russia, and they've been there for the
Mm.
longest. It almost as if Africa was a place for asylum for Russia, if you ask me. But when I was there in the 90s, they told me these businesses have been there for more than a decade. So I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. The only foreign national that I knew that was living in my parent country was Russian.
Okay.
right? But if you look at it on a political aspect, Nigeria is a colony to the British. Now, put two and two together. Why is Russia in a place that belonged to the British as a colony? What business do they have when they don't like to see each other face to face?
You have a point there. Keep going. I like where you're going with this. Go ahead.
And the thing is, this is something I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of half Russian girls. They were half Nigerian, half Russian. It became a thing. But when I left Nigeria in 1997, I found out the net demographic that came to that living in Africa, especially in my country, were Indians. And I was like,
What kind of
oh,
Indians are we talking about?
I can't tell exactly because I remember when I was working at MTA, I came across a woman who said she's a Nigerian, but she's Indian. I look at her like this, like, stop the bullshit.
No, I met a woman almost like 2 months ago, give or take. Uh, guy, she's gonna kill me if I pronounce this wrong. I know she's watching, so God help me because I'm gonna probably butcher it. Guyanese Indian, and that threw me off. And she's such a sweet woman, and she's pretty fucking hot too. And she's
Yes,
fucking hot.
there's a lot of, I'm telling you, there's a lot of Indian in the Caribbean, in Guyana, in Trinidad. I believe they're in Barbados. Let's put it like this. During the slave trade that happened that affected Africa, there was another slave trade that affected the Indian as well of the
Mhm.
Chinese.
I know it affected the Indians. With
I found out from my job, I'm not gonna mention my job, who the end client is. My store manager told me, somebody schooled her how there was actually some Trinidadian that was sent to Africa to help build the railroad
I know
system there.
they've got.
And ever since they were there, they never went back. So in technical terms, were actual people who came from Trinidad far early, I'm not sure either in the 60s or the 70s, who were there for construction, but they never left. I was like, hold up, because the past 2 years, a lot of Nigerians in my age group and below, we start to find out there was a lot of stuff that was kept out of the history books. When you start to dig, you're like, wait. This for real? How come we want to talk? What the reason why? Then you start to understand there was something was going on. There's a lot of information that I wish it were there, I could have been aware of, but at my age right now, finding out new information more and more, I was like, okay, someone got a hidden agenda. How much history do you hide? Because if you find out that there were people who would travel the globe at an earlier stage due to certain criteria that need to get done, or they were forced to be done, or they were recruited to be done, and they never left, they stayed there, try to act because what's going on? We know about how some of the African American slaves who escaped to the plantation and escaped their master were put on a boat and sailed all the way to
And I
Liberia,
told you, I'm not arguing one bit. I know what you're saying.
right? I'm not going to, but here the irony though. They're actually African American, but are they still considered to be African American after multiple generations later in Liberia?
That is a good point. All right, let's get back
So
on track here for a second.
it's like in because the thing I'm talking about, like I'm putting on this because I'm trying to paint a picture.
You know how to paint?
When picking, yeah, I'm trying. Do you know why? Remember I mentioned earlier in my earlier monologue. What measures stick? What ideology? What standard are you using? When you have so much changing of the guard, so much changing of the ideology, so much changing of the standard, things slip away from being consistent to being conflicted.
Exactly. I'm not the changing of the guard. That's the thing I want you. Let's get back on track for a second here. All right. So we had 90, excuse me, 90 Day Fiance that you can. literally sharp for your women, bring them over here. But it can backfire. I know a few people who had a 90-day fiance kind of situation. I know at least 5 people I want to say off my hand. No, 6. 6 people, all right? And they got lucky. 3 out of 6 got lucky. The other, like
That's
the
luck.
colors coming showing up afterwards.
But
I remember
here the question
watching
to ask:
the one episode.
how much did it cost them? How much did it cost them to put in the paperwork for
Oh,
that?
Jesus Christ. Maybe you know, David. I don't know the price. You tell me. What do you think?
Right now, it's about almost $600 to $700
That's it?
now. But back then, what would I'm sure the cost would a little cheaper. But since thanks to 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight, I'm sure the price went up because let's be real, those two shows made a killing off that. I don't think the United States government got any profit.
You're an asshole.
I had to throw shit on that one. Yeah, you didn't get no profit. They didn't use you. They pimped your ass. To a network pimped the government to use their visa puppet as the means to make money.
You're an asshole.
And there was no profit. So that's why you increased the price because you realize you got played.
Oh, big time.
So when you told me 3 out of 6, that's like you going playing poker. You hope you got the ace. You you hope you got the king or the queen because if you have a bad hand and someone got a good hand, you wanna like, oh shit, should I fold or should I go in? Go all in. That exact uh, that idea is like playing poker with no life both, no life belt, nothing. Either you go in and you win, or you go in or you lose. No refund. How many people have used? And the thing is about the process, you only can allow to use that twice within a 12-month calendar year.
Twice y'all use it only?
I looked it up. It said you can only use it twice within 12 months. So you file it in February. No, you know you file it and the thing will approve. The project came in on February. February, March, no, February, March, April. By April, if you're not married, you wait 6 months, which is April, May, June, July, August, September, October. After October, you can file again.
I didn't know that.
If you file again, and it's somebody else, and didn't work, then wait another. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous process. I'm not sure they have a clause if you use it too much, or it's wrong with you.
Hmm.
But to take that type of risk, that's like the worst way of playing poker. If you think about it, it's like the worst way to play poker, for real. It ain't gonna front. Just like today, for example, I was trying to link on my platform, even I got the link late, but I do
Oops.
no configuration. When that cutoff time kicked, it said, "Oh, you're not allowed." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what's going on? Are you telling me I'm me choosing you with a bad deal with Stream? But you better look in the StreamYard. So you telling me this what I would get for dating you with Stream? I gotta get everything done at a certain time because with StreamYard, doesn't matter. You can still click. They were favorable on that part. But with Stream, you got a better system. You have big organizational features. But they're being harsh. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You get the point though, right? You're picking and choosing. What philosophy are you need to pick and you choose? We watched. Let me tell you who the worst people to take advice from finding the right spouse. Hip hop
Oh
celebrities.
God, yes.
They are the last people on earth. The very last. But they pick them though. And when they pick them, and they go, right, what they do? Pick another product similar to that, but ratchet in a way whereby, oh, she that girl rival, or she that girl, or the, like, yo, what the hell?
So let me ask you a question, David. All right, because this is where I'm gonna have to I'm gonna change the gears here for a second. When it comes down to picking a woman, what is your eliminate process?
Oh wow. I think my process is very slow because I start to look back on a lot of things that I need to start creating a avenue whereby people start to show the true nature. Shout out to Uncle Ricky. He's a vice stand. You got to put them through the ringer to know who they really are. You cannot take what they say to you at face value. Could you do such a thing, you can fail easily. So believe what I said, it is not simple. It is not. Because you got me thinking like, I had to go back and look at my uncles and my elder old school of doing things. Take a bunch. Dude, I almost took the whole entire book, and I was like, uh, okay, did the playbook. Okay, I'll take that, take that, take that. I'll take that. No, I can't do that. They're too complicated. Okay, okay, I'll take. You know what it's like when you tell my your former coach give you his playbook to see it will work for you, and you had to go through each page, and you got to realize, oh shit, it's not as simple as I thought it would be. He just drop on your lap, and you think, oh, this gonna be easy. God damn, why didn't you think of that? Like, damn. And it was messed about the playbook. I'm gonna use football analogies. Shout out to DJ Hamp because, like you say, football is the better analogy. No, it's not. I'm not using it for now, DJ Hamp. So don't let it go to your head. You hear me? When it comes to football coach, they got multiple coach in their lineup, right? You got the head coach, you got the offensive coach, you got the defensive coach. So even though you are the head coach, you still have other coaches on your side that you can throw an idea off them, and they can help you pick a better choice. That's why he gave you a playbook. He have his counsel to help him vet, right?
Hmm.
Now you gonna get that playbook to somebody else who don't have a counsel. I'm take the glass or drink it in my eye. Your coach give you a playbook that he had been using, which it was successful for him because he had his counsel and he gave you the playbook. You going through the playbook, looking at all the idea, all the plays. You start to realize, like, oh shit. Now I see why he see what he said. Now I see what it. But if you want to bounce on the idea, you turn around, you're like, oh shit. I don't have a defensive coach. I don't have an offensive coach. So in case I might make the wrong choice, I got nobody who can say, that's not gonna work. You might have to go a helmet. No, you cannot go to helmet. You don't have someone who can keep you level. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because there's some content creator on YouTube who I spoke about having the village. The village is what kept them in check. It what kept them in line because one, when they're making their choice, they have multiple eye to look and see if you're making a sound judgment or not. If they see something that you're too blind to see because you might be, but over that, oh, this is a massive red flag. Like I think when I mentioned the playbook, it's just like that. The women
Hmm.
supposed to have the same thing too. Oh, they're the woman playbook too. Yeah, they do.
You know what I said for
But
years, and I'll continue
let me
saying it.
let me finish this.
Yeah.
Women, here's the joke about this. I know you were laughing when I said women. Yeah, they got playbook that been passed down to them. They got counsels who can bounce idea off them more than we do, right?
Hmm.
But here's the problem: did they recruit the right counsels or the wrong one?
Hang on, hang on, hang on. I got a better one for you. I got a better one for everybody out there.
Oh,
I think a woman, when you meet her, she comes with an owner's manual. Hi, my name is owner's manual. My name is owner's manual. My name is owner's manual. I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat from it, but you guys are fucked up sometimes in the head. To the point, like I'm trying to typical. Hey, babe, what do you want for dinner? I don't care. Okay. Excuse me. Babe, what do you want for dinner? I don't care. Babe, we go through this every time. I say you don't care. I pick something. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, I don't eat that. You're always difficult, babe. But tell me what you want. No, I'm good. I'm easy one. You're the hard one. Babe, what the fuck do you want to eat? I don't care. By the way, guys, the chat is in the link. In the chats. The link is in the chats. If you guys want to join, if a woman wants to have a conversation with us, I'd love to,
but
respectfully, of
this is
course.
why
You
I
know the
bought
rules. The rules are in the chat.
and I know why I bought the coach playbook more tactic into play because let's be real, a lot of guys don't have that count. It's rare you see guys that have a sound counsel who will be their real brother who will check them when they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
No, picking a spouse is very hard. Like Paul, or whatever you are, I hope a well pisses on you. Um,
He's on a boat drinking a pina colada, not virgin, getting wasted for
no,
the
he does
third.
drink. He doesn't drink, bro.
Is that a drink?
He doesn't drink. He
Okay.
doesn't smoke. He doesn't do anything.
So I hope you have a virgin pina colada, because if not, I'm sure your wife spiked the drink.
He's,
So,
you know what's funny, dude? Literally, before we came on the air, I
oh,
was
here's
like,
the thing.
on the,
You want to hear my idea? I'm sure his wife spiked the drink. So by the time he wake up, he handcuffed, and
I'm
his
surprised he didn't
wife
pop his
do,
little
and his
cheesy
wife
head
did
in
that.
here.
You can play that video when he wake up and he told his wife that to sing that thing. Can you play exactly what he's waking up to?
Oh, let me find it.
Because there's no way your wife is not thinking, this is my chance to play him. This is my chance to play a prank on him. You say he doesn't drink, yeah, but you're on a cruise ship. You're feeling yourself. You got a pina colada. You thought it was virgin. You thought wrong. You feel like, oh, this pina colada different. You're knocked out. I'm like, oh, what happened? By the time you come through, you feel like your head has been shined a little bit too much. Like, why the light glancing off my head like that? What's going on in my head? What's going on? And you see some light show, you see some road pedal, then you hear that Samoan song playing in the background, and you're like, what's going on here? Honey, where are you? Then she come in, come on, Ghost, and play that clip, and she start to do this. To you, Paul.
Hey, I think I see Paul right here. Actually,
Yeah, Paul's right there. He was like, oh shit.
he's gonna be we watch on his rewind like, so son of a bitches. He's been thinking. I'm like he doesn't curse. I'm the doing the cursing. And
Hey,
like you go,
I
that
know you would
son
say,
of a gun,
why they
that
think
son of a gun.
you could say, why you think that's gonna happen when it end up actually happen, but you're not gonna tell her because he was like, my wife have been watching the show too much. She took some idea from you
He said
guys.
on air on this channel on this date.
He did say that.
Remember what he said last
He did
week?
say it.
He will definitely be okay with wife doing that
He did say it.
singing,
But I'm sure.
and he will be turned on for that.
I'm sure she pranked him because you say he doesn't drink. All you need to put a little something, let it spike it up, so he got knocked out. So when you carry him, he wants to. He was
But
like,
you're an asshole, dude. But no,
I'm
seriously, back
crazy.
on the subject really fast. It's fun really fast before we move on to back to our subject.
I didn't forget what I
Like
was talking
Paul
about.
literally posted, he was been posting his vacation, and he was playing Uno with his wife. I'm like, seriously, Uno? Hey, each their
Uno
own.
is a. I'll be honest, with you, Uno is a classic game to play. But I hate to say it, but sometimes you can see a person true nature when they play Uno.
Oh, I got a better one for you. A better game that will destroy friendships, will destroy marriages, destroy any bond with
Good
anybody.
game.
You ready? You know, it's called Muffin Time.
What?
It's called Muffin Time.
Muffin pie.
So the game is very simple. It works backwards at Uno. You're supposed to collect 10 cards, right? You start with 3. And how it works is very simple. You have a trap card, trap card, an action card, and another card. It's a mini games in it.
Mhm,
Like one, I remember I was playing it remember when I went on vacation in Maryland and I was on Mike's show,
mhm,
the game card XTR.
mhm.
Guys, check out Pop Culture Warriors on Fridays. This Friday he has a game show tomorrow night called TRX. Let me look it up really fast. I can't remember what it's fucking called. He has so many shows. That guy. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll tell you right now what it's called. It's actually a very good show. If you're into board games, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's on the Pop Culture Warrior. And it's what is it called?
And I thought you were going to take Monopoly. It would be the game that break relationships.
FTX. It's called FTX.
FTX.
So it's actually a very good one. All right, let's get. So FTX is a fun game. So I was on my vacation playing it, and King drops a card. He goes, "Now trade your hand to the partner next to you, but your trap cards stay." I had 2 trap cards. He goes, "Okay." It says your next person who plays after you loses automatically. And I flipped the card and I changed the whole fucking game. It was like, all right, man, let me get this guy in here because he's ready to start screaming at a tree. He's getting his vocals ready.
Reckless.
And of course, I'm
Oh,
talking about
a
our
boss
friend.
man.
What is going on, my brother? How are you
Hey,
doing?
I'm doing all right. How's
Thank you
everybody?
for liking that clip
Very good.
on TikTok because that thing it means a lot to me when about fatherhood because that was real for me.
I want to ask Bossman a question.
Wait, what?
All right, a very serious
What clip
question.
are you talking about?
We did a show concerning fathers, and he made a clip on TikTok when I was speaking on about fatherhood. Why I think it's
I like the clip. Yes. Okay, got you. No problem. No problem. Absolutely.
All right, Bossman, I have a question. I'm going to get right back on the show. I'm going to show you a clip really fast, all right? Tell me, if your wife came in, start screaming like this, would you be turned on or run the other way? He's ready. Look at him dancing. He's dancing. All right, what would be your answer, boss man, if your wife showed up, come in the room with lingerie, by the way?
Too much happening at one
Hold
time.
on, hold
What is
on.
wrong with this?
Let me tell you when you just said that you just messed because you know what? I think of Nia Jax. I was thinking of Jimmy Took Fight daughter doing that. I said that is scary.
Scary as shit.
It's not a good idea. How are we
Well,
sure?
in your
How are
case,
we sure?
David,
Hold on.
David, in
I'm
your
being
case,
funny, but this is a Samoan clan. This is another warrior class. I don't
David,
trust,
you be going for the blue chew. Like, where's my blue chew? Where's my blue chew? Where's my blue chew?
dude. Dude, I heard war stories when guys who date Samoan and they say these Samoan will look at if you're not up to par, they'll look like you are nobody. Like you still a small man.
I
You're a
bet.
warrior class woman.
All right, let's get back on topic here. So, boss man, you read the title. You know what you're here for.
Correct.
So, give me your open statement. What do you think?
Well, initially, the answer seems very simple, honestly, and that is women are typically attracted to men who are, uh, yes, taken, not because for the fact that they are taken. There's a couple of avenues. One avenue is the fact that, um, it's the sense of the fact that a man who is taken is desired or picked by somebody else. So by that alone, it is attractive because another woman saw value in that man to cleave and bind to him. Okay, which automatically makes him a uh, makes him valuable. That's one. The second thing is a man who is not out prowling or looking and is not really interested in throwing himself out there is also attracting, weirdly, because there's a sense of he's not desperate. So that lack of desperation, that lack of hunting almost allures the woman also because he's confident if he is walking in some sort of confidence. Okay, especially if it's in a healthy relationship too. Oh yeah, a man walking in a healthy relationship, he exudes confidence. Women sniff that, not because they want to really tear that up, but it's because of the fact that one, he's not interested or bothered, okay, enough to be, enough to, because for some reason women seem to be attracted to a man who is not necessarily really sniffing around them, or lurching, or like tearing, you know uh yeah, tearing, or constantly uh, uh looking around their atmosphere, um for some odd reason. It doesn't give desperation, essentially. So that's the other reason. So value, lack of interest, they seem to like that for whatever reason. And then of course, if another woman it values that man enough, a woman likes men who other women want. There's obviously some reason that man is wanted. Why? Because a man that no other woman wants, they're not really interested. Majority of them are not really interested in that man. Now, there's another path, and it's more sinister. And that is, it's safer for a woman who does not want commitment and does not want to be married and just want the safety of just getting some and without any attachment. The taken man is the best bet because she can get what she wants without any attachment at all, because more than likely he doesn't want the chances of anything getting out, or any side woman issues or anything of that nature. So it works for the most part. And so that's a woman who basically is not looking for a relationship, is professionally driven, not interested in starting a family, doesn't want a serious relationship, serious betrothing, none of that mess. Literally just wants one thing, and that is it. And so the taken man is the best bet versus the man who is hungry or thirsty for a relationship or whatever, and possibly creates a kind of a noose around the neck type situation. So
I want to challenge you on that first idea of the taken man because I cannot say it's not so, but I need to understand deeper because
sure.
I believe this is something that has to be genetic. Because if you search the history book, it seems to be that have been a common thing to go after someone who's already been taken, already been spoken for. Because it seems to me that man who is taken must be a man of high quality or high standard. Based on your understanding, why would it be in that type of concept that it never died out, having passed on to multiple generations? Why would that be?
So your question is, why would it be that a woman would seek a man that is taken because of, or perceive a man who's taken to be of higher quality?
Hmm.
Because women look at women trust other women's opinions and perceptions better than men, or better than their own and better than men. So put it like this: when women do their makeup and they get dressed, they get ready, and so on and so forth. Yeah, sure, they do it for the men, but they really like the attention of other women. They like the girl, you really beat your face today. Oh, girl, thanks, appreciate that. The compliment from another woman, it's tops compared to the compliment of another man.
David, I give you a great example. Remember, I have mentioned several times over the year about my ex, that I was with for 3.5 years. Remember what I'm talking about? So one thing I realized towards my end of my relationship, I thought I had a good relationship. I didn't. I was just in a trance, I guess. But one thing I realized, and towards the end of the relationship, like, she used to say, "Oh, these girls are hitting on you." Like, babe, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't believe in cheating. I just go after one woman, sleep with one woman. But I realized towards the end of my relationship, I know it was coming towards the end. I realized, wait a minute, all these women are coming after me. Like, why? I never let anything happen. Obviously, I was respectful for my relationship. Even now, any relationship I'm in, was or anything like that, I always have the respect back. If I'm with somebody, I'm not gonna do that to them. But they were literally throwing married women were throwing themselves at me. What I mean throwing, literally like whoa, or what?
And that's another
Like
thing.
most men were
That's
like going
another thing
like,
that like
hey, what half of it? Hang on one second, David. One of it, like most men, she worked with these women, so they talked. Find out later on, they were talking. He bought me flowers. He treated me well. He took me to dinner. He cooked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or he fucked me really well. Whatever the case was, and those clothes, David. I know you're slapping your face like, oh come on, dude. It couldn't be. No, I'm dead serious. Bossman, back me
No,
up, dude.
I'm really serious.
I'm not arguing. It's just that what you just mentioned is the opposite of the side of that coin to what he mentioned earlier. They go after the taken one. When you flip the coin, it's like an oxymoron. They already taken, but go to after someone who is not taken. It's like two sides of a coin. When I'm saying the concept and the mindset
But
behind it, it's it's almost as if they know this is it's in their genetic. Because throughout history, I've heard story about that. Women go after men who are taken, but yet in the same token, women who are already got a man who is already taken will go after somebody else who is not taken.
Okay, so think of it like this then. Okay, one concept is that another woman's judgment is especially if you're having insight on someone's situation already, right? All right. If another woman that you're similar to, okay, is approving of that man, okay, and that man is exuding qualities that you would approve of, or whatever the case may be, for the most part, he's already good to go. Okay, he's already passed the bar, because another woman, and another woman that is either good looking, whatever the case may be, has checked him out and has approved of him enough to be able to cleave on to him and latch him on. Then your already perception of him is that he looks good anyway, and darn, he's taken. But here's the other thing, is that he's being mistreated, or he's not getting something, or I bet, you see, okay? Or here's the thing, or he's missing something that I can provide him and sneak in, right? Okay, now the other thing is that women seek attention, right? They always seek validation and attention. However, depending on the woman, if they are not getting the attention that they think that they necessarily deserve or qualify for, depending on the woman, sometimes that could be a turn on to them, especially from the men that they like. So the men that they don't like, they don't care to get the attention from that man. But the man that they like, he doesn't give her the attention. That's almost like, oh, really? I bet I can get his attention. It becomes almost like it becomes almost like a game to them.
That happened to me at a job a couple of years back in Livingston, New Jersey. She was the executive assistant to one of the top managers in the bank. And I was told who she was before she came on site. She was actually a IG model slash Cyrus radio host, aka Bad News. So when they tell me who coming to our site, and I told her, I just like, I'm avoiding her. I don't want none of that drama. Oh yeah, the guy was God came, but I was avoiding. So when she picked up on the thing that I was avoiding her, I'm at my desk working on a couple of machines. She sat right there next to me. I'm like, I'm looking around like I didn't move my head. I didn't move my eye. That looked like, why is she here? Her fan base is right behind me. Why are they looking at me funny? I pay no mind. So when you
And,
mentioned that, it's kind of like,
and think of it like this: I'm on TT now, and the thing is that there are women on there who, I'm mind you, there are some baddies on TikTok. Okay, there really are. Okay, and I will even link them to my wife, because my wife is a girl's girl. So I'll even link them to my wife, and I'm like, hey, babe, she's a baddie. You should check her out. Okay, because my wife and I, we have this kind of understanding.
The kind of relationship you guys have, he's open like
Yeah.
that.
So, but what I watch inside of the rooms is that I watch men literally fall over themselves. Like the chat almost like rolls to try to get the attention of the girl. So when I come into the room, literally all I do is salute, and then that's it. What ends up happening is they end up seeking me out, because I don't fall over for the attention. Why? Because I don't need the attention. I got the attention at home. Right? What ends up happening is they end up following me, friending me, messaging me. You know what I'm saying? And so they end up following less people than who follows them. And they end up getting more comfortable with the person who doesn't show them this thirsty attention, right? And then what ends up happening is they start learning interesting things about the person that they have somewhat close to, befriended, so on and so forth, yada yada. And then those with ulterior motives find their way sneaking in.
Mm.
And then how they sneak in is then not into the man. When it's happening is because here's how this works. She proffers, and then men accept. Okay? Because all men need is an opportunity. All men really need is just the gate to be opened, and then the man has to make the decision, of course. Okay? But that's where we then like once, because sometimes literally my wife will even tell me that I don't notice when people are checking me out. I don't even notice that someone's flirting with me half the time because
Most men don't actually.
sometimes most of the time I really don't. I have to actually be I have to really be paying attention to actually observe that someone is flirting with me.
Or yeah, you're so much in a particular frequency channel. It's kind of like I can't say you're tone deaf, not reading the frequency because, like I said, when you're in that mode of seriousness, you're having a conversation. Like you said, you're not paying attention, you're not checking, but you actually don't really care for it.
Exactly, I don't give a
And
shit.
this is what I'm trying to explain to a lot of people. Men have a tendency of if they don't want to be focused on this one, want to be focused on. I don't want to be distracted. I really do not care. Once I'm done, I'm done. I'm by. You tell, oh, but what do you want me to do? You want me to pay attention? They say men are simple. Well, we are simple, but we also can be very
We
focused.
can't. We're more straightforward. I want to
No,
say, men,
men are
not
straightforward.
kids.
Men,
Like us here on this panel right now. I consider myself a man. Bossman, I know he's a man. David thinks he's a man at
sometimes I can be a
times.
beast.
Yeah, Beast Boy, but that doesn't the
I ain't no
conversation
beast
for
boy,
another
beast
time.
man. Let the difference between beast boy, beast man.
Yeah, but my point is, we're men. So if you look for me a woman, she's right here. Let's name her Jessica for a minute. All right. You can say, Jessica, I want to take you out for a date. I want to just have a drink. I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to bang you. Whatever you want to do with Jessica, you can talk to Jessica. Jessica Five Hands, let's call her. I, okay, so David, he can say X, Y, and Z he wants to do. Same thing with you, boss man. You can be honest, like, I just, hey, I'm married, I'm cool, we can be friends, whatever. If she respects that different sort, or your wife is going to rip her head off. One of the other two things is going to
Here's the
happen.
thing: working in corporate sector for so long, I had to train myself just to not literally ignore them, just act like they do not exist. Because I've done many tech jobs, and the worst environment are the fashion companies and the banking companies.
Yeah, if you've never worked in the kitchen, they say that.
No, 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 no. I don't think you understand when I say fashion. I'm talking about the fashion corporations. Now, I'm going to give you guys an inside scoop. I've worked with two fashion companies, N Inc. and the parent company, Estee Lauder. N Inc. had a dress code. They wasn't business casual. They could dress whatever they feel like because it's mostly women than men. So you having women coming to work with booty short on, with I could not. I don't care what anybody tell you.
I'd look.
That is not corporate.
Like boss man, like goes, I'm gonna fucking
Bossman,
look.
bossman,
Let's-
bossman. You would. I'm telling you, my team member who was there with me, he do it like this. I was
Yeah,
like
I'd
this.
look. If you put it in front of my face, I am going to look, and you're not gonna be mad, and you're not gonna be
Yeah,
upset
but
with me because I looked.
my thing with this, they were they, almost every job you go to, you gotta take the sexual harassment course to make sure
It's
you
not
understand what
sexual
it's like.
harassment to look.
I know, but here what's wrong with our company. These women were dressing in the way as if it make their work environment feel like you're walking on landmines. My team members of guys can't even focus straight and get the job done. And they're like,
Do you blame him? I don't.
I don't blame them. Me, I want
But
no, here's the thing.
here why I
I
say
want
kitchens are
my
worse. Let me
job.
tell you,
I need to keep my job. And do what I was forced to do.
Dave, I'll tell you why kitchens are worse. First of all, you work in a very tight quarters. You're going to bump into people. Not if, you're going to. So you're trying to keep your hands to yourself. It's the hardest part. Like I have a hot pan here, and I'm yelling
And
hot behind, and she
I'm
doesn't
trying to
hear
keep
me
my
because
eyes
she's too
up,
busy.
not look
Hang on,
down.
hang on, hang on, David. You have a hot pan that's came out of the oven. It's probably 400 to 500 degrees in my hand right now, and because she's so fucking busy because she has a goddamn fucking headphones on in her ear, and you put your hand up towards her back. Watch out, hot about. Oh, that's sexual harassment. But she can put her hands as many times on me as she wants.
And some of these big fashion corporations have policies
I'd see
that
that.
don't make no sense. Estee Lauder was worse than Anne Inc.
I like how he fucking ignored my comment.
I'm
He
not
goes on
ignoring you
back at his.
because my experience in that type of environment got me questioning what
This is
are
why I
they
want to
doing?
talk.
Because Estee Lauder, let me tell you this, they say it's okay to date among
This is like
yourself.
going to be a three. Hang on, Dave. This is going to be a three parts almost because today we're talking about partnership mostly. Next week going to be more work line and sexual harassment the next week after
Okay.
that. So this is going to be
I'll
all
keep that for
connected.
that. I will keep that because
No, no,
But
yeah. I just want to keep you in mind.
okay.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
But to the point of the why relative to the attraction, it is normal. It's honestly normal for women to be attracted to a man is who expresses or exudes an abundance of resources. Now, the abundance of resources can look like because women. Okay, so I will break this down and I will debut this thought process on your show because I've been working on this thought process of hypergamy. Okay,
Mhm.
and hypergamy not just being materially related. Okay, but hypergamy being being the attraction to abundance of emotional security. Yes, finances, materialism. But what about physical? What about sexual? Because the physical aspect of it is if the person that you're with does not provide you as much physical security or the visual aspect of the physical security that or physical security or sureness that the next person you're looking at could or might, then your hypergamous nature is going to say this is going to provide me the better outcome, so I'm going to monkey branch over to here. You see? Okay. Then you got the sexual aspect of it. Okay. That ties into the physicality portion, but it's different. Okay. Can hypergamy actually spread from just materialism, just fiduciary, right? Can it actually do that? Because if a man has an abundance of confidence because he has a woman at home charging him up every day, whether that be his mental or emptying him sexually or charging him up emotionally, physically, that man is walking on cloud nine, right? A woman sees that, and that man, and then don't let him look good, right? Right? Confidence. Not to mention, a man already makes more. It's statistics show that men make more when they make more than women already when they're single statistically, but then they also tend to make even more when they're married because they're already purpose driven. They become purpose driven in order to provide provision, become more provisionary for themselves and their family, but predominantly for their family, which means they're going to look better, right? Especially,
I agree with all of that.
I
so think
had to
about
agree
that.
I had to agree one thought at a time. Like
Isn't
what you
that
broke it
not
down.
more? Isn't that not more attracting? And especially if you are a beautiful woman with pretty privilege, and you've been able to walk all over all these men, and the
Walk over.
one man that you actually look at and like treats you the same way that you've been treating all the people that you've been dissing. That's powerful. And a woman looks at that and says, I gotta have that.
So I have a theory for you guys for a second here. I want to bounce off what you're saying here, boss man. So I don't ever believe a man doesn't stop looking. He always
Oh hell
looking
yeah.
if he's single. It's like, oh, I'm not looking. I'm too busy with my career. Fuck you, dude. You're full of shit. Talk to another guy like that, not to me. So let's say you're for some reason you're not looking. You're gonna bump into that person like that, most likely. Grocery store, supermarket, whatever the case is. But it's gonna be different versus when you're looking. Does that make sense to you guys?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So
very different. When you're looking, it seems you feed or exude this kind of desperation almost.
exactly where I was
It's like
going.
it's like you're on the prowl and you're looking for almost any type of contact or any type of cue that's like, oh, did she see, is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm gonna. And it almost seems like you're a dog almost sniffing, as opposed to being a lion sitting there waiting for your lioness to come to you.
Dog sniffing. I'm going for the bone. Fuck that. I'm not sniffing. I want to eat the goddamn thing.
So yeah, see, that level of confidence is a situation of I don't know. So here's me. I've always been the kind of person to wait for cues that signifies interest.
Mhm.
And if that meant that in my younger years I missed a lot of cues to have a bunch of chances, which I've definitely have, because talking to some of them um in my I was 23, maybe 24, maybe. Um Talking to some of them after the fact, I missed a lot of opportunities because they didn't give me, cues that, suggested. Because here's the thing, for me, I've never been the kind of person who garnered the type of attention that other men did because of obvious cues, like obvious features, like being super tall, or being super muscular or whatever. So those instant triggering things I never did. But what I did garner was, if I walked into the room, you knew my ass was there. So that meant if you were interested, you would show that same level of attention. And if I didn't break if I didn't break your whatever you were doing enough to be able to show me that same level of attention, then I'm not the one for you. Which means you missed out, not me.
So with that, everybody's a little different. Some people are more shyer than others too. You have to keep that in factor too. So as I got older, I got more confident.
Yes.
So I'm not the type of person who goes, I'm in a store and I see a beautiful woman, like, ooh, let me go talk to her. She's gonna get away from me before I call the cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person to creep her out like that. I look up, like, she's cute. Move on with my day.
Yep.
That's it. Now, if I cross paths with her somewhere, like, say at the gym, we're having, like, we're sitting in line, we just start opening a conversation, and then this is a different story. Or, she comes across my Facebook or something like that, like, oh, I'm like, hey, I think I know you. Like, I think that's not why reason a lot of men are going online dating, because the confidence level is different. They're in their own comfort zone versus out there, like, exactly. That's where I'm going with this. And this is the last week's episode we're talked about, like, why people are going online dating mostly versus real dating. It's a comfort zone. Like a 10, what is 10? Whatever the 10 is for you, it doesn't matter. A 10, a 9, whatever. Usually going for a 5 or 6, but now you can go for the woman who's a 10. It's more easier, but you don't know what you're really getting. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. So funny enough, last week would have been a good time for me to join. So I met my wife online.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We can talk about it again this week. I'm okay with that.
Well, it links in with attraction, so we'll go there. All right.
Okay.
So I met her on blackpeoplemeet.com. Okay. And
What website was it?
blackpeoplemeet.com.
Okay.
And by the way, I'll spoil it. Sparta thinks my wife is hot, by the way. So I appreciate the compliment.
BPM. I don't like BPM.
And look, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I hope she doesn't try to kick my ass when she meets me one
Oh no, I
day.
told her. She said thank you. So here's the thing. I don't get offended when other men compliment me on my wife. I actually think I take it as a badge of honor. Because here's the reason. Here's the thing. Men like or should like that other men look at their wife or look at their woman.
Bingo.
And if you have a problem with that, you have a confidence problem.
Bingo.
Or you have a confidence problem or you don't trust your woman.
Woo. Say it again.
Or
Say that
both.
again.
Okay? Because here's the deal. If many men can look at her, but I'm the one that got her. So that means that if she can be taken, because I know how this works, she has to proffer in order for you to get it, which means if she can be taken, you can have her. So, by all means, please look at what I have because she is gorgeous. And thank you.
And Bossman,
Now,
Bossman, I'm glad you
I can see
said
her
that.
me actually
Hold
for me like,
Hold on. No,
hi, I'm gonna go
Bossman.
this way
I like.
now.
I'm glad that Bossman said what he said right now because this was a argument for 2 years on the Black YouTube street about how a man supposed to act and someone was compliment or who or do, and I hear mixed and I'm like I've been thinking the thing that Bossman, if they compliment, I mean I did something right.
yeah, please look. If you
And
don't
I
want
also,
to, if you don't want
and
to
I
look at my
also
wife, then
agree.
something I did
I
something
also
wrong.
agree. If she's easier to leave me for somebody else, then she ain't worth keeping.
Yeah. I'm a
My
damn it,
rule
I'm a catch.
always
Shit, if you want to lead this catch, then by all means, go right ahead.
my rule is always looking is don't make it fucking obvious. Don't be a pig about it. Like kind of thing. Like, be respectful about it. Like, quick look and move on with your day. Because that's somebody's wife in the day.
Yeah.
But like you said, everybody's gonna look.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even you're married, happily married, you have a beautiful wife, like you turn around, no, she's kind of
She
cute
got a
and move
nice
on.
ass. Yeah. Hey, babe, look at that ass.
And
And
here the
you
thing.
not every man has that relationship like you do. You gotta keep that in
But
mind
here
too.
was something that people, when Boardman described his relationship, I don't think a lot of people paying attention. I pay attention super quick and super easy because what it says is a level of confidence within themselves, a level of comfortability. They know who they are. They're not moving or shaken by other people's opinion. They already have a solid foundation of who they are as an individual, as well as who they are as a couple. Because all this is about, I'm from Brooklyn. Go to the spot and know how people in Brooklyn, they're very stupid out here. You say, she hot. Will you look at that? Wait, that right there, it let me know that this is not your girl. You're just afraid that she will find somebody better than you. If you
Yeah.
got to do that. And they girl to do the same thing too, right? It get to a point I thought to ask, what's your foundation?
The
Why
foundation
you not
is I'm sorry.
why you not confident? Because I'm glad you said my uncle told me this since I was young. If you're not confident who you are as an individual, when a storm hits you, you know if you have the caliber. That's why I respect you, boss man, and I respect Mandrell, and I respect JT. You know why? You guys went to the next level to prove and see you have a strong fight by joining the military. Not everybody gonna do that. Yeah, I came out with not only a solid foundation, you realize the world can be worse than what it is. When I joke about my country, only person who know my country that I know of that knows it is Mandrell. Mandrell say you guys are crazy. I say I know. How you think I feel? I spent 7 years in a country that will drive anybody crazy. But if you don't have a solid foundation, any small trigger, you lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
I also believe in one thing. When you find the right woman, you can get on one knee and marry her. And you know she's the right one. You're not gonna be over jealous. You're not gonna be overprotective. You know you can trust her. End of story. But you also have those factors sometimes like, how much you trust her, the fucking bitch is gonna cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It doesn't matter how much squeeze you have on her or whatever. If she wants to cheat on you, she's going to. So you gotta trust enough she's not going to, and that's the hardest part as being a man sometimes, who's been hurt. When I meet a woman, I tell her I'm broken. I tell them straight up, I'm broken. They look at me like, "What the hell are you supposed to mean?" Like, you're like, I've been through hell. I've been cheated on more times than I can count on one hand. That's how, I can't even count. So you gotta work with me. You gotta be patient. Sometimes I'm gonna be overreacting over stupid shit, and you gotta bring me down. And at least I'll be honest with them. If you cannot handle that, that's fine. We can go our separate ways. It's trauma there that I'm working through. Like, I don't know if you guys ever been through something similar.
Yeah. So when it comes to the cheating thing, yeah, I've experienced that, and typically, how do I word this? Well, one, when it comes to the trauma of it, all right. One, you can't move forward until you've gotten past the previous. You can't bring previous into the current. So
Agreed.
when I've gone forward, I don't mention it to anybody unless I've been prompted to, because then what that then indicates is that one, it indicates a lack of readiness for the next step. If I'm mentioning what I've been through as I'm going forward, that's one. Unless I've been prompted, then it's like, okay, here's what I've been through. If they wanted me to open up, that's one. The next part is the wanting to or needing to know the reasons why. Okay, why people cheat is a very nebulous thing. Okay. Sometimes it's because of you, and sometimes it's because of them. And it's very hard to discern the difference when someone doesn't give you that answer, right? But provided that they do give you that answer, then it's a situation of, is it something that you are able to address or not? So if it is something that is fixable relative to you as an individual, then sure, you have the choice of fixing it or not. And if it's something you can't address, then fuck them, right? So then it becomes a situation of, if it becomes a pattern, then it's okay, if it's a pattern, then what is the pattern? And then figure out a way to either compensate for the pattern, essentially. And that's what I've had to either figure out or make the adjustment, essentially. If that makes any sense.
Make a lot of sense.
I think it makes 100% sense.
It makes sense, but
Go ahead,
it's
David.
hard to digest. And the reason I'm saying that is because, for one, as a man, to let yourself face such a conclusion, you gotta ask yourself: are you able to accept the notion that it could be this or it could be that? Are you able to accept? Okay, it is what it is. It will be a battle scar. Fine. How would I move beyond this? So I won't have to go back and revisit it. Sometimes I would suggest, if you're going to something like that, it's better to keep to yourself or find an outlet that will allow you to decompress, but also look at what you may have overlooked, what you might have missed. Were there were warning signs that you overlook it, or were you naive about it, or you kind of like, how would I say, most men would do in that type of situation, and then that quality, give it a benefit of the doubt. And sometimes it's not good to get too much benefit of the doubt. When you do that too much, it's kind of like saying that you didn't set boundaries. Am I correct, Bossman?
Yeah, that's another way of basically saying, don't bring what you've been through into the current unless the current is either requiring the knowledge of the experience, or requiring the file to be brought up in order for them to analyze it, essentially. Because if
Next,
you just bring it right up front and center, it essentially overloads the person. And then you're giving too many keys to the castle. That's one. But then two, it almost shocks the situation at one time. Yeah. But you got to be able to work through it before you start, essentially.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if you haven't healed from that process, yeah, you can move
No.
on. You're bringing baggage. You're dooming your new relationship no matter
Mhm.
what.
Yeah.
It's not if you are going to.
Yeah. But to go back to the other thing of the online dating part, because you had mentioned something very important that I didn't. And sorry, I got distracted. So I met my
No, you're
wife
fine.
online, and um, I struggled with meeting people in person, and the reason being is because um, I had a problem going into the environment to meet people, just to meet people, basically. And the environment would be clubs, just environments that I just did not fit into. Okay. Give you one example. It was suggested to me that I go to a club, and I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to go there, and first of all, the way I look, okay, I kind of need to have that approval band on one arm and a drink in one hand constantly, because no one believes that I am over 21. Okay, all right. Now I'm 34 at the current age. Now imagine me being 25, how I looked then with no mustache. Okay? Okay. Now, picture it. So then I am still this stoic, kind of square kind of person. So I'm not really into the atmosphere, right? And then I've been taught all my life that if I'm going to go and thrust myself under the woman to dance, I need to ask the woman if that is okay, right? Right. That seems to be the nice thing to know. Now I can dance the styles. The problem is that I would prefer to ask the person if that is okay if I position myself under the woman, right? You would think? No. Let me tell you something. I got there. I got to these places, man. And I would see someone, because mind you, I don't just go and just I'm not the kind of person that goes. I've seen people do this. The man goes from person to woman to woman to woman to woman. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? These women are watching you. And it's very unattractive as a man to go to woman to woman to woman to woman to woman, and then you get to the one woman who may have actually considered you, but now she feels like she's the last option that
Mm.
you got to, because all the ones you preferred said no. Wait the room, sir. Anyway, I did that.
I'm glad you
And then
said that because I never liked the clubs to begin with, and that's always been the case because the club in Orlando, Florida. Oh boy,
yeah.
I don't know how y'all people survive the clubs out there. It's
So,
banana. Because here's the thing. I know you're gonna laugh. If I'm going to the club, I don't go to the club to look for girls or to get drunk. Drop my 20. I want to go to the club only for one purpose and one purpose only. Who the best dancer? Let's see if I can beat that dude in his own game.
And I want to drink.
You want to drink? I want to see if I could compete with the best of the best dancer. I was doing that because I was doing that while I was going to college before I dropped out of it. But that was my thing. That was my goal to do. Because you know why? Here why I say my goal to thing. I didn't have to drink. I didn't have to pick up no girls. It was a well-known game to know if you can be one of the best top five dancers in the club at that time. It's like automatically these girls think If he that damn good with his move, what he can do in the bedroom, that's their logic. Another
Okay.
real logic. So
No, it's not weird.
when you battle that, for some parent reason, it's always happen. The girls say enough and enough of your battle. Come down with us. They'll come interrupt
Yeah.
on purpose,
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
they want to be danced too. I
Yeah,
remember
that
when
makes sense.
in
No.
high school and in college,
Oh, did he freeze?
I danced with 4 women. I don't know how I did it. They
Oh, it
didn't
makes
care or
sense.
cheering. So I get that's the only way I do dancing back then. Wasn't to get drunk. It wasn't anything to talk. They come to me anyway because I love to dance at that time. And I stopped doing it in my, I think I was 25, 20. I stopped doing that because it was getting out of hand. Everyone wanted that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. No more club for me. But it get
So, boss
ridiculous
man,
because I don't have to pursue a girl. If you playing salsa, it'll be kind of we confused. How can an African guy know how to dance salsa? Don't worry about it. You got 2 left feet, and I took a girl from you. What's the problem? If you play dance hall music, I still
Yeah.
do it. It's almost any job with me they play in the club. It was easy for me to take them away because one, their man on the wall doing this. She want to dance, but you don't
Right.
want to dance. And they see the guy like, you know what?
So interestingly enough, with that type of thing there, so with the younger crowd, my age, yeah, my age or so, with the younger crowd, it was harder for me to actually blend in the way that you were. Um, and so what would end up happening is I would scope the room, find one or two, and say, okay, I go and shoot my shot. And so this wasn't a lot of talking because it's loud. You're not gonna get to know anyone like a lounge per se, right? So I go and I try to go and work up the nerve to go and talk or dance, whatever. And right when I got ready to do so, here comes a dude. Completely, there was no conversation. There was no, hey, you want to dance? Nothing. He just scooted himself under her and started dancing, grinding and everything. I'm like, he didn't even ask. Do you even have to ask? Like I went back to my damn seat, back to my damn area. I'm like, do you even have to ask? Now, watch this. Watch this. What you just said. If I were to go to like a cabaret, for instance, where there's older women, we're talking like cougar age. We're talking like, because I'm at this point, I'm like 25, whatever. But cougar for me at that age was like 40, 45. Now, that age, however, had no problems because you put on any type of line dance, you put on any type of thing you can do, hand dance to a two-step, whatever case may be, you put on anything that's like that. And just the fact that you are a young guy who knows how, because remember, I taught dance, so I'm eclectic. I can switch styles. You do that, and then all them young them old women who have men who don't want to dance or can't dance, whatever case may be. All you would have thought they had STP in their damn legs, man, and they get up and they start moving. Oh yeah, baby, yeah.
boss man, let me jump in here really fast. Two things. All right. The first thing I want to say, every person I spoke to, friends of mine, says, well, my girl wants to go dance and she's not going. I'm like, dude, that is a fucking green flag for you to go with your girl, go dancing, and you're getting fucking laid still. I'm like, are you that fucking stupid?
Let me throw this one
Like, if
into it.
my girl walks through this door, it goes like, hey babe, you wanna go dancing in an hour after you're done streaming? Like,
No, let me throw it into it.
sure, babe, no problem.
Shout out.
No, it's there,
Hold
but
on.
example.
Go. Let me throw it.
Hey,
Shout out.
hang on
Yeah.
there.
No, hold on.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Abba and Preach. They're my kind of people because not only Preach is Haitian, Abba is African. They come from a court that love to dance, and they got shitted on because they would take salsa classes. They love to make and they think, and you have some fake ass man Google call that is gay. I was doing that same exact thing in junior high, trying to learn every single dance style. And the fact that I took everything that I learned about dance and go to the club almost any music genre. And mind you, like I say, I am an African. Everybody scratching their head like, how
You
he?
really African? I didn't know that.
What was funny in Orlando, Florida? I got harassed by a lesbian partner because her younger woman was dancing with.
Mm, yeah.
It's one thing to get harassed by a man,
But
but a lesbian partner, she came and threatened me. Don't dance with my girl. I was like,
well, she was dancing with me. Shit. You should
I
check your
didn't,
girl.
I didn't check her.
Well,
She came
hang
to
on, David.
me.
I mean, so one thing me and you, boss man, are very similar about is if I'm at a club, and like I'm not even just gonna start grabbing random women and start dancing. I think that's rude, and that's one way to get knocked the fuck out or getting stabbed. You pick one, whatever you prefer. So I never done that. Every woman I talk to hates that for some reason. Why do I say hates it for some reason? Because they hate it because we all fucking do it like idiots. Think we have game. You don't have game. You're just stupid. Am I wrong, boss man?
No, you're not.
Okay. So I always chill in the back, hang out with my friends, or whatever the case is. Never went home with a girl. I'm okay with that. Recently, about over the summer, I says, you know what? I was bored one night. With no stream or nothing going on. I went out and have a few drinks. Well, I felt fucking old as shit because all these kids that were doing all this stuff, grabbing each other, and like, I go, wow, I am so out of date. I'm
Mhm.
almost 40 and I was completely out of date. But now, if I had a couple of my friends with me, could have been a little different. Yeah, maybe. But it is what it is. My point of trying to get with that story is I'm similar like Boss Man. Like, I never went up to a girl like, come here, you, come here, you, come here, you, and then start sandwiching them. I'm like, no, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Um, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Boss
I
Man.
mean, these, listen, I went to these clubs are something different. And they just, I mean, it's one thing to do like, so like cabaret style, type dancing where you just, come on, you want to dance? No, no. Okay. Okay. That's something different. But what I saw, they literally were like, if they had no clothes on, they would have been literally like, yeah,
Fucking.
literally. And once the music was done, they separated. They didn't say a word to each other. And I'm like, oh, this ain't my scene. I can't. So with the online dating thing, I was going through, and the the prettier women, the tens, nines, and eights, respectively. The problem is that, yeah, to your point, it's an atmosphere where you're able to be like a keyboard warrior. Essentially, you have all the confidence in the world, and you're able to shoot your shot. The problem is that they get so many of these that the chances of actually them Russian rouletting through the messages and the random dick pics, and that the moment that they actually get, if they even get to your message, okay, what are the odds, right? Now, here's what happened. I actually I saw my wife, and I saw her, and I was like, oh yeah. It's like, damn. Oh no, she's not gonna respond to me. I can tell you that right fucking now. I am not gonna get a fucking response. I know it. I know it. I put the phone down, and I was like, she's not. She's not gonna respond. I'm not even gonna fucking try it. I'm not. I'm a swipe right, but she ain't gonna fucking respond. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do so. I'm gonna go ahead, because I had not been getting any responses, because again, tens, nines, and eights, they don't respond to people. At least not to me anyway, right? I shot my shot. Shot my shot. Turns out that she was actually going to delete the app the same night that I sent the message. because she had been getting weird messages, dick pics, so on and so forth, yada yada, just weirdness.
I hear that all the
And
time.
she had gotten my message just before she was going to delete the app, and it had appeared on top that moment.
So you're in the right place at the right time. pretty
Literally.
much. So I hear this all the time from women. Every time I had a conversation with women who was online or anything, is three things come up. All right. Number one is what you just said, boss man, is weird. You know, I'm overwhelmed. All these messages. Second one is every guy wants the same thing. You want to come over and fuck? You want to come over Netflix and chill? I'm like, damn, don't you want to marinate that a little bit first? Or the third one is like your case, and it's rare. It's probably like 100 out of 1. You met somebody, you dated for a while, and you got married. And you have kids and family and all that stuff. Is it rare? Yes. Does it happen? Yes. But it's not as often, unfortunately. And you're a good example to that, boss, man. And you give me hope again.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm serious, because as much as I'm like, I say, I'm done with online dating, and I don't think it works sometimes. But you're a good example. It does work sometimes.
It does. I tell you what thing. When I met her, or when I saw her, and she messaged back, I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." I said, I tell you what, I said, I gotta meet this bitch immediately. I messaged her and I said, okay, when can we meet? And I said, we're gonna meet this week. Oh, but before we did, I Skyped her, sent her a Skype link. I said, I gotta see this because I am not getting catfished again. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Saw her within 48 hours. Yes, we did. And then met her within 72. Absolutely. And then within 2 weeks, saw her without makeup on. You damn right. I required it. Got this shit out the way immediately.
I have a rule of process when I meet somebody online. Rule number 1: I talk to you for a little bit online, then I want your number. I'm not staying online, going back and forth online for months on end. So when I text you and that goes well, I need to hear your voice. That's my second rule. I don't hear like some guy's voice like, hey. I'm like, what the fuck?
You gotta be careful nowadays.
Don't get me started with that shit. So my third rule is after talking to you for a while, I want to able to FaceTime you or Skype or some kind of video messenger. I want to see you and everything connect together. After that, I gotta meet you in person. That has to be happening at least in 2 weeks. Because if it doesn't happen in 2 weeks, I'm out, because it means you're not serious and you're fucking around with something's going on behind. I don't want to know about. That's my rule. I don't know about you guys, but that's my rule.
Well, you had mentioned that the women are complaining about the same things as far as like, what they all experience. Here's the thing.
Correct.
They're experiencing this. Okay, let's put the pieces together really quick, because I am going to be a little bit charged when I say this. They're experiencing these weird pics, these weird experiences. They're experiencing these things from the people that they swiped right on. Are they not? Okay,
Correct.
So they're experiencing these things from the very people that they seem to be awfully attracted to, which is a small majority of men who think of themselves very highly of themselves, right? The small
Correct.
majority and the small minority of men who are top 10% of men who meet a certain physical requirement, because you're shopping for men like men shop for women.
It's like buying a car.
Okay. And all you're doing is looking at the aesthetics. Well, those men who are aesthetically pleasing, they're generally assholes. And they learn this behavior from women who have basically told them that this behavior of sending their impressive dick pics is acceptable, which is, again, strike 2, women's fault. Because a man is only going to do what they have learned is okay to do, and what has worked for them or for us. So with that in mind, somewhere along the way, a woman has basically given a poor sapling of a blooming, budding boy turning to a man, has told him or confirmed to him that sending his dick to her is well enough to get some. And sending it before saying hello is the only requirement to getting some. Again, women's fault. And what woman taught that young woman that was acceptable behavior as a qualifying feature to be able to accept a man into your boudoir for coitus? Probably another woman, or the lack thereof. Strike three. We can do this all day because, again, men practice what we have learned that is acceptable.
Correct.
And it isn't until women start changing what is acceptable behavior and stop rewarding us for the bad behavior.
Shout out to Jedi Mike. I remember 2 years ago, Jedi Mike, Cheeky Banter, Cam, and a few that had a show called Broken and Dusty. And they brought this particular talking point about how women validate the behavior and have been going on since middle school. If you are a what you call a dork, a nerd,
You ain't getting none.
a geek, you're too smart, you're all in your book, you're not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to comprehend who started this ridiculous culture because outside the country, it's almost like a total opposite. If you're in your books, if you are a nerd, they think of you as someone who got a huge future ahead of. Let me latch on before he became Fortune 500. Let me latch on because he might be the chairman. But here, God forbid you're a dork, you're a nerd, you're a geek, you're a dweeb. But somehow now, in present time, being a nerd is sexy now. Being a geek is sexy now. But we spend multiple decades being caught out. No, let me rephrase. We didn't get caught out. We had milk poured over our head. We got food slammed in our face. We got food thrown on our clothes. We get bullied by the jocks. You get ultimate wedgies. You get shoved in lockers. Should I go on with the list?
Here's the unfortunate truth. Okay, here's the unfortunate truth. In every arena, especially, well, I can't say every arena. In the younger the woman is, the younger the female is, the more that she's looking for someone, typically someone who exudes the dark triad traits of a man. And the most what's the word, what is the word that I used? Hang on, because I wrote it down before relative to the types of masculinity. Because hang on. Oh, there we go. The most bombastic and brute version of men. And as they get older, they start wanting that bombast to start turning to a stoic and resolute one. Here's the problem with that, is that up until that point in time, you've rewarded that bombastic, brute person, giving him everything. You've probably given him a baby at that point in time. You've given him I'm be can I be brute and
Be
be
blunt.
blunt?
Be fucking blunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've given him the tightest twat up until that point.
Damn. Damn. I didn't see that one coming. Ooh.
You've given him the best body that he's not going to appreciate. And you think that he loves you because he's showing some level of allegiance to you because you're constantly rewarding him for his bad behavior. Until he gets used to what you've been giving him. Like all men do, we get used to what you have. And the bombastic brute needs his fix. Because what you have is no longer rewarding anymore because now he gets used to it and he now needs his bombastic, brutish fix. So what does he do? He goes
I
somewhere
don't know.
else, leaving you with whatever that's remaining, which is no longer the best, no longer premium to give to somebody else.
Whew. Ghost, I hope you're clipping this. When you clip it, let it be only him alone saying it. You can move us out of it. That needs to
But
be
he's
a
right.
digital memo.
And then you wonder,
But he's right.
why. You wonder why there's so many of those men walking and lurking around because women are attracted to these features and you're constantly rewarding. Because here's the thing. And women are going to be very upset when I say this, but they'll say, well, no, it's not rewarding. Yes, it is. I'm going to prove it right here in less than about 15 seconds. When you're mad at a man, the first thing you want to do is retrieve and retract the nookie, right? So if it's true one way, it has to be true the other. Otherwise, you're practicing an argument fallacy. So if the act of sex can be a punishment, then the employment, then the inclusion of sex must be a reward. If the absence of sex is a punishment, then the abundance of sex has to be a reward. Otherwise, it must not be true that if you are removing or or abstaining from sex
Mhm.
can never be a punishment. It would never work then.
You're totally correct on that part.
So every time someone acts horribly or produces or performatively demonstrates a trait that you know is not a good trait and you reward it with sex, all you are doing is cementing that poor behavior, and you're
Mhm.
teaching that man that that poor behavior is the good behavior. And if you think you're going to change that brutish behavior later, you're bugging. And so, to all the women who say, "Where are all the good men?" I mean, where have all the good men gone? You've taught them how to be horrible by constantly feeding into the bullshit. Why? Because you were looking for the same qualities that you were interested in when you were a child, because you never advanced further mentally than when you were 17 or 18 years old, and now you are 30.
Unfortunately, that's the truth.
Clock it.
We clipping this one. This will be a digital memo because I believe we have said something like this close to what he said several times, and they will argue. You can have so many women saying that is not the. I'll be like, no, that is the case. If that wasn't the case, then why was the nerdy guy who had real potential? He was the top of his class, straight A, but he wasn't attracted to because he wasn't popular. He wasn't showboating. He wasn't rough around the edges. But then later on, before Kevin Samuel brought it up, because that what Kevin Samuel was talking about, he put a modern label on it. And that ideology, I will say it again, to all the women who don't like history class, you might want to go back into the history book and start checking all the past civilization and find a common behavior trait that have been practicing long before you even realize it became in existence. What Kevin Sanders was talking about have been here for ages. And what he was saying, he this man broke it down, and I like it when he did it. He said, I'm not referring to the basketball players. I'm not referring to the baseball players. I'm not referring to the football player, the soccer player, the actors, the rappers. I'm not referring to these group of people. Leave them out of the conversation. What I'm referring to are the corporate men, the men working corporate arena, the men who had to wake up early in the morning to get to work, the men who had to bust their behind to get partnership in the law firm, the man who had to pay his due in a company. Within 7 years, he climbed up maybe 2 or 3 ranks and started to make more money. The man that had to go to, I don't know how much loans you got to take out for school to get not only his degree but certification, but a high level skill set that willing to pay that huge money. You were referring to those kind of men, and I've seen those kind of men within 22 years of my career. You are not going to talk to them. They're high up there. They either COO, CIO, CEO, district managers making 250, 350, 400, a half a million. You're not going to meet those kind of men. Because reason why the environment require a certain level of class. And
Good
a lot
point.
of them were too retarded, too stupid to understand Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel was an image consultant. And I realized too many hood rats don't know what that means because they never stepped foot in the corporate arena. Who are the people that look for such people expertise? They are the executives themselves who have to prepare for the next meeting where they have to go to, they have a client they have to meet to, and they want to change their style so they will be somewhat approachable to the next deal, to the next partnership, or the next business collaboration. They're like boring.
And Dave, you have a very good point in this, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with any of this stuff. So, we're getting close to our closing hour. Uh, David, you want to go first? Your final thoughts,
I'll
boss
make it
man.
quick
Finish it.
because I like this comment. I like what Bossman is dropping here because this is something that we have touched it many times, but I had to say that Bossman hit it hard, core, it beyond bullseye. He hit it at the heart of the issue, and this is what we have been trying to say for the longest. I don't want to hear that phrase, "Where are the good men?" ever again because, like Anton said, you already met the good men. You put them to the side and give it up for the Pookie and the Ray Ray. You say 90% of y'all have already met the man you're supposed to marry. Shout out to Anton Daniel. Which I had to 100% believe because you met him either in middle school, which I met him in high school, or you have met him in college. But because he was a dork, a nerd, a dweeb, he would rather spend his time studying to ace his test, to ace his exam, than to go to the nightclub and waste his life away. And what was that dumb thing that people ladies do? Oh, I date a man with potential. Bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Y'all don't date men with potential. Y'all date men who full of shit. Because if you date men with potential, you would have dated that nerd in middle school who was excellent in physics and biology, who was excellent in mathematics, who would want to help you to do your homework. He would help you to get your grades up. But he wasn't attracted because he not a Rico Suave. Man, bullshit. Y'all the biggest capper on the planet. And there's no amount of excuse you can make to make me believe y'all bullshit because that right, what Baldwin just did, I'm sorry. He's the prosecutor. He to destroy your case clean. There's no coming back. So that phrase, if anyone want to say that phrase again, they should be held in contempt in court. That's my final thought.
Well, I'd say this. When it comes to overall attraction in general, it's well understood that um, women and men both, in general, both have their flaws as to how men and women both seek what they are ultimately looking for, seek what they are attracted to, and latch on to. The key here is, I believe, is what you reward, what is most important, and then what mechanism is actually used to inform the decision. I've long since said that women typically are better visionaries, whether relative to, or at least supposed to, relative to paying more attention to a man's character and less attention to how a man looks. And men search more first by what they see and then confirm whether what they are seeing is indeed matching the actual character aspect of it. Because yes, we see we see with our eyes first. The problem that's starting to happen with society is that women are starting to date and confirm and affirm in the same way that men do. And this is where the rubber is meeting the road here. And this is where a lot of mistakes are happening. Is that instead of looking at a man's character potential, a woman is looking at a man's height, physical prowess, the things that men typically look for in a woman first. A woman is then looking at a man and saying, does he meet the physical requirements first? And when a woman is starting to then go for a man in a way that a man goes for a woman, we have two people looking at each other in the same way. And we essentially have two hammers coming together. And we're not having the opposites, but rather two of the same kind, essentially. And then we're wondering why we're not having synergy, essentially. And wonder why mistakes are being made. So my thought process here is that for women is to be more astute when it comes to character and judgment of a man's potential. And don't be so worried about trying to find a man in his finished product. Because if you're looking for a man who is finished already, you're going to be waiting a long time and possibly never find that person. And then you're going to be looking at somebody else's work in progress and trying to take theirs. and wondering why you don't have what somebody else somebody else is currently working on. Because the reason why that taken man is charged, feeling well, is confident, is because that woman probably found him when he wasn't at his best. It was is in the process of building him up as he is working on himself. Some people find each other when they have nothing, and they build their paradises. And that's why that paradise is so alluring and so attractive to you, if you're looking at someone who's already taken. So if you're one of those people who sees somebody else's paradise and you find it attractive, that's the reason why, because that man is confident, because he's getting his confidence. Rest assured that a married man, I would go so far to postulate that 60-70% of his confidence is coming from the fact that he has assured love and affection and support from that woman, from that wife. And if he's lacking it, he's going to be dead inside, because he has attached himself to a woman that does nothing more than take from him as opposed to pour into him. So, with that in mind, final thoughts there is to pay less attention to the physical aspect of it. It's not to suggest that women don't care about the physical aspect, because yes, you do want to be attracted to the person. Attraction to a woman is important to a degree, but it shouldn't be paramount. Not in the same way that a man is. And if you're a woman looking for a man in the same way that a man looks for a woman, you are doomed from the very beginning. And try to fix that before babies come into the picture. Fix that beforehand. Look for a man as a woman would look for a man. Over.
Bossman, thank you so much. David, pleasure like always. I agree, my guys. Take your time. I know how hard it sucks saying from a man. Take your time. Right? Take your time. Try to find the right mate for yourself. But Bossman, I want to ask you a question here. I have a couple shows that you may be interested. Not only you, I think your wife might like be jumping on one of these, maybe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bring them up right now. Actually, I'm not doing a schedule. I'm just going to a future schedule. So one of them was going to be Body Shame on the 16th of next year.
Body shaming as
these
in
two,
relative to body shaming towards a woman, body shaming towards a man, or both?
towards men, both ways.
You said towards men, and then you said both ways. Which one?
Be mostly men, but I wanted to touch both ways also.
Okay.
Okay. Another one I
That can get
have
nasty.
on the 2-6 is, are there any still good men out there?
Come on,
David, shut up.
CBN.
Let
There
me
are.
have that. Let me have that show. I'm not sure.
You're not getting a day off yet. You're on probation. What was that one? I really wanted
That
to see if
topic,
your wife
it
can
will
come
rub
on,
me
because
up
I
the
want a
wrong
woman on
way.
this one. Here it is. Sex is not love. Love is not sex. I'll let you marinate that one for a
I
while. But
don't
let me
need to
do a quick
I don't need
schedule
to
update,
marinate
guys.
on nothing. I just talked about the
That's why I said it.
unconditionality of the conditionality of love last night.
So, Saturday, guys. Excuse me. Saturday, we are talking about
Make
wrestlers on the big
sure
screen.
the imagery for those show, you put Bossman at the top. Because I know when he go drop his,
I already posted the
I know
schedule, dude. They're
even
ready
though
to
you
up.
post the schedule, make sure you put his face and Thor hammer drop on somebody else's head, like when he drop it.
Fucking idiot. Next Thursday. This next 2 episodes on the Spartan Arena next Thursday is going to be really important to me, because it's actually happened to me in real life. So workplace equally. are men still in the driver's seat?
Okay, next Thursday. That's after Christmas, right? All right. So next
Yeah.
we'll see about next Thursday because it's after Christmas, but I will be recovering from all of my cooking.
Oh,
You know I cook every single
I
you
don't
know
day
what?
care.
You know
for
what?
a lot of
You have to
people.
have a cook-off to see who the best cook between both
We
y'all.
already talked about
Oh
this
my
last
god,
night.
he was on my he was on my TikTok talking about we should have a cook off.
I was trolling.
Trolling me,
I was trolling
trolling
him.
me.
So on Saturday the 28th, we are talking about old games. Why were they more difficult than modern games? So except that, that'll be the update. I'll see you guys. I'm not sure what we're talking about Thursday, Sunday yet on Gray Area. I can see Paul actually made it past the Pirates through the Caribbeans back on his safe American soil. So I'm not sure when he's gonna be back. So I will figure that out probably sometime Saturday. See where he's at. So David, anything else?
Nothing at this moment right now because those two topics that you mentioned that I was like, it ain't good. I'm like, I'm not. It's like you want me to be
He's
on that
already
show.
triggered.
Yeah,
I love doing this. This is what I'm.
this
This is why
guy
they call me
have
Ghost
got
Sparta.
shows that got me triggered. This one here, I might explode because you
That's okay.
you
I
destroy
need the
you
content.
destroy the argument. You like a prosecutor, so I'll have to have your clip play for that show only. So there's no more excuses.
All right. So guys, as always, this was the Spartan XQ Network. I am Ghost Sparta. He is Black David. He is Boss Man. As always,